All right, let's move on to the accommodation process. Scroll down here. So our accommodation process has 3 parts. The first is self-identification, which we will go into in just a moment. The second part is providing disability information or documentation. That will be provided in another video. And the third is accommodation workshop, which will also go into detail in another video. All right, let's scroll down to step 1. So for step 1, it's the self-identify step, and that is when a student with a disability requests accommodations. So self-identification or identify means the student recognizes that they have a disability and would like to request accommodations. Students attending a post-secondary institution are responsible for identifying themselves to the Office of Specialized Services as a person with a disability. This is not automatically done as it was in previous years, such as high school. You must submit the online intake form, which is our way of doing that self-identification, and to request specific accommodations. If you're having any issues, you can refer to the step-by-step instructions below on how to complete it. The step-by-step instructions will be highlighted here. Should you have any issues, you can go ahead and follow those steps. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and show you the intake form. So I'm going to click here to complete the online intake form, which will open in a new tab. So we'll open to this form, as it is titled, the Office of Specialized Services Intake Form. So if you are applying for accommodations or services, you have to answer these questions as accurately and thoroughly as possible, so we may process your request. So in Part A is the student's information. As you can see at the top, a bunch of things are blurred out or grayed out. That is because when you log on your end, it will automatically and generate based on your login information, such as your first name, your last name, your ID number, and your date of birth. Your Bergen email should be the email that ends in me.bergen.edu. And you may add an alternate email if you would like, such as your personal email or a parent proxy email. Below that, your phone number should be automatically generated based on what you have submitted to the college. Please feel free to add an alternate phone number. This could be a home number or a cell phone. Lastly, if your preferred first name is different from your legal first name, please feel free to write that here down at the bottom as an option. I'll just type in BCC just as an example to show that it is available and you can type in it. The next I want to discuss pronouns, preferred pronouns. You may be more familiar with he and she pronouns. For example, he went to the store. That would be a male pronoun, and you would select he, him, and his. Another example is she. So she went to the store. That is a female pronoun, and you would select she, her, and hers. Some students do not prefer to go by either of these pronouns, and they prefer to use the pronoun they, them. For example, they went to the store, so you would select they, them, theirs. If there's a pronoun that is not listed but you feel fits you better, you're going to select other. As you can see, the text box will open up and you can type. For example, I'm going to type Z, Zer, and Zers. And that will save when you submit the form to us. All right, I'm going to scroll down. So you can type in the program that you are in. This could be exploratory, for example, or general education, just as an example. And you can see here, you can select the semester that you are looking for accommodations. For this purpose, I will select fall of 2023, as that is when I am recording this. You will also select if you are currently registered for classes. For this sake, I'm going to select yes. Next is your address. Again, this is blurred out in blank. However, on your end, it will be also grayed out, but again, auto-generated, so your address based on what you submitted to the school will populate here for you. Next, you're going to select your primary campus. For the sake, I'm going to select Paramus, but you may need to select Hackensack or Lyndhurst. And the preferred method of contact, so how we contact you. Would you prefer an email or the phone? For this case, I'm going to select email. Scrolling down to Part B. This is where you are going to select either what you have been diagnosed with or what you feel you identify with as a disability. I'm going to select the most generic one for this example, which is a learning disability. And I'm going to scroll down. This may mean that you have to select more than one. If that's the case, please do so. All right, for Part C are the accommodations. The accommodations are separated by 3 parts. The first are exam accommodations. As it is titled, these are the accommodations you would use during an exam. For this case, I'm going to select the top 2 most popular requests, and that would be extended time and a calculator. The second part is intake in-class accommodations. Again, I'm going to select the top 2 most requested accommodations, which are note-taking and computer use. Again, as the in-class accommodation states, these would be accommodations you would use during a lecture or lab. The last one are other accommodations. These are accommodations you would use outside of the classroom, possibly inside the classroom, but in the end provide additional support to you. I'm going to select the top 2 most popular requests, which is a recorder and permanent tutoring. At the bottom, as you can see, please tell us any additional information about yourself or your disability that you would like to be considered while determining your eligibility. Whatever you state in this little comment section is confidential, so please note that. As an example, I'm just going to type, struggle with focusing on taking notes while in class. If there's anything else, please add that, and then you will hit that lovely submit button. I will not be hitting the submit button, so it does not add to our queue. But once you hit submit, you will see a little window that comes up that states that it has been submitted. You may email that to yourself if you like. If you have any other questions, please email and call our office. Our email is ossinfo@bergen.edu, and our phone number is 201-612-5269.